Today we will be discussing police officers and the use of body cameras. Should they be required for police to wear or not? The side I will be taking is that they should not be worn due to privacy and safety reasons for police officers and also civilians. When it comes to having to wear body cameras, a major negative to be considered is privacy. A body camera will record every interaction or a police officer has, including those he has with other officers and civilians. One concern that was brought up in the article, Lights, Camera, Action, Body-Worn Cameras, Challenges and Opportunities in Police Research by Granny Perkins, was that police officers expressed the concern that recording private conversations could hinder promotions if something bad was said about their superior. Public privacy is an important component. It would record what would be considered some very low points for some people. This alone could cause more distress for whoever's interacting with the police. Many people may not want these very vulnerable moments to be on camera. Another aspect to be considered is safety. Many police officers find themselves in high risk situations. Some believe that having body cameras on police officers can delay the quick thinking that they need in these type of situations. Knowing they have a device watching their every move when interacting with the public can cause worry for the police officer. If they are put in a situation where they need to act fast, it can slow them down and slow their thinking down. When in certain situations as a police officer, it requires quick thinking. According to our textbook, Introduction to Psychology, these quick judgments that police officers make come from the frontal lobe. The quick thinking they need to make judgments can be hindered if they are wearing body cameras. If a police officer hesitates, it could result in them getting hurt or making the situation very unsafe for everyone involved. There are high-risk situations when they may need to pull their firearm and use it, but having body cameras on their person can cause hesitation. They can either get hurt by the suspect or the suspect could hurt a bystander. Is this something that we as a society should risk? And should safety for officers be considered above all? Some believe that the behavior of a police officer and their cooperation with body cameras can only be successful if trust is built between the officer and their employers. While there are many things to take into account when deciding if body cameras should be worn or not, many believe that it's important to give officers some control and also build their trust with them in order to prove the effectiveness of body cameras. In the article Police Body Cameras Part 2 by Eric E. Lippman, he goes to explain ultimately, police body cameras are going to improve policing. Police officers have to trust the law enforcement agency employers attaching the cameras to them. His theory was that behavior in policing will be improved if police officers can have some influence when it comes to body cameras, and therefore the agencies employing them can build trust. Trust is the foundation of improving policing, and right now that could be considered at an all-time low. The decision on whether police officers should wear body cameras or not ultimately comes down to effectiveness, the privacy aspects, and safety. But we also know that trust is a huge aspect. If trust is the foundation of having effective body cameras, they should not be worn until that trust is built up. On the other hand, there are positives to wearing body cameras, and something we as a society have to consider is whether the public thinks they should wear them. In the article explaining public support for body-worn cameras in law enforcement by Monica Williams, she provides a statistic that across the board, studies have found strong public support for cameras with 64 to 90% of public supporting them. For many, police officers cause stress and anxiety, and for some, knowing they are wearing something that is showcasing what is happening can bring more of a sense of safety that they didn't have before. Many don't feel safe around the people who should always protect them. The statistic stated earlier just proves the need for police to wear body cameras. When considering the safety of citizens under the law, aggression is all too common in cops. According to the textbook Introduction to Psychology, aggression comes from the hypothalamus, a part of the brain where some other behaviors may come from. Many believe that when police officers know that something is watching their every move, behaviors tend to change. In the article explaining public support for body-worn cameras in law enforcement by Monica Williams, these findings suggest that the public believes BWCs effectively reduce unwanted police behaviors and induce more positive behaviors, which in turn may contribute to strong support for new technology. Our behavior can be heavily influenced when we know we have someone watching us, or in this case, a body camera documenting the movement and behaviors of a police officer. It is very important to look at both sides when you're researching arguments. Both sides need to be taken into account in the future, and citizens need to be heard above all. I felt as if researching both sides was very beneficial. Good points can be made from each perspective, and even if you are very set on what you agree with, it never hurts to hear how other people think. Learning is essential in our lives, especially when it comes to topics that are important in our everyday lives. In the future, hopefully, different minds will work together to decide how body cameras will be used in the future. The public's opinion should be taken into consideration and they should get a voice above all. If minds can come together, I believe we can improve upon the body cameras we have now. In the future, technology will hopefully continue to improve, which means if improvements to the body cameras that are used now, I believe they will continue to be used, but there will be more discussions about the effectiveness of them and how they may be improved with time.